What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Rust and Restoration Garage. Today we're going to be working on the C10, hooking up the halo lights to the signal lights and what's supposed to be daytime running lights, but this doesn't have that, but I'll hook them up so when I turn the marker lights on, they'll come on also. So I bought these lights about almost a year ago now, and I hooked them up and they've worked perfectly fine. I only paid $80 for them off of Wish. They seem to work pretty good. The light might get a little bad here. The high beams do work. I will go turn those on here in a second. As you can see, I got the high beams on. I haven't had a problem with these at all, but today the halo rings that go around the outside, I don't have those hooked up yet, so today we're going to hook them up so they work with the signal lights, and they will come on white with the marker lights. So I'll get everything set up and start that. So I'm going to start, I'll get the signal light out, this trim ring piece out, get the headlight taken out, get everything unplugged. And I'm going to test which one's the blinker and which one's just the running light, and then get the wires spliced in. There's no instructions on Wish on how to which wire's what in here, so I got to try to find that out, and we'll get everything taken out and get it put together. If you're doing this with your truck, it probably doesn't have 12 different type of screws. They seem to be all Phillips, but they're different lengths, sizes. If you got a normal truck that isn't put together with parts and pieces, it'd probably be a little easier. And for this piece, one screw that goes into this, take the, I guess, signal light housing out. One's a 1/4 inch and one's a 7 mil, so those aren't right. Your truck probably has the right size in them. to do next is get my test light out, check which wire does what. The black, I would assume ground, check which one's a running light and which one's a signal light. I'll just turn my lights on and the signal light on, try it with my test light and see what they do.
Where am I going now? Just falling over dreams. Now I'm just so far gone, this isn't what it seems. Taking me so damn long, it's fading from belief. I need to slow this down, it's burning from beneath. Come break this line, this holds in my sights. Holding on for what is worth my life. And now inside, I'll make it up the vine.
Okay, so what I did was, since I can't get the connection inside there, I just poked a little hole in the wire here, right there, and the blue wire is the signal, and the brown is the running light. I don't know if you can see the light on the test light there, but I gotta cut these wires to splice them into that anyway, so I just poked a hole there. I'll cut my wires there. Black is ground, I don't need to touch that because the light's already grounded out. I'm gonna get the headlight out, figure out which one works with what, I guess, and see if I can find any information online of what color is what for that, and we'll get that on the go. Okay, so what I did was just take this little jumper wire, hooked it over to, it's kind of hard to see in here, but I'll show you, the green wire on the headlights I hooked to the power, which ends up bringing the amber on, which will be hooked to the signal light. And then if I take this, unhook it off the green wire, and hook it onto the red, I can get it in there with one hand. Once I hook that to the red, then the white light comes on, which would be, if you're putting these in a Jeep or anything, something with daytime running lights, you would hook that to the daytime running wire, and that would come on instead of having all the other lights on. Anyways, we're going to get this headlight out. We'll get this headlight out, get everything hooked up and test it, and then we'll move on to the other side, get that all done. Okay, we'll get the 3 screws, just little Phillips screws, get this out, and then we'll add all the wires, get them spliced together. Okay, I'll get this unplugged. There. So you got the green wire, which is the signal lights. Your red wire would be your daytime running lights, stuff like that. I'm going to use them as my marker light. Anyways, we'll get some wires made up and get these cut and pieces spliced into them and get them all hooked up. Okay, so I got my wire here. I'm going to make this just however long I think it needs to be. Got some shrink wrap connectors. Need a couple more of those. This side. So what I'm going to do, cut this wire up, get the ends put on, some shrink wrap just to help them a bit. We'll say that long might be way too long or too short. Probably too short. Definitely heard that one before. Nothing new. Some of these stripped. Put one of these on. And I'm going to go just green and red, same color on the headlight. Doesn't really matter what color you go. I just thought I'd make a match, make it right fancy. Nothing fancy about this truck. I grabbed the wrong size heat shrink, so we'll retry that. Actually, thing with this heat shrink, I got that off of Wish too. It was like 15 bucks or something. 400 and some pieces of it. It works fine for me, and it's a lot cheaper than buying it around here. Like $75 around here for half of the pieces. Not a bad deal. You can find some good stuff. It is obviously most of it's garbage, but worked out for these headlights. I'll show you the radio I got too after this. Anyways, I'm going to get these together, get the other connectors put onto the truck, and we can test it. And another thing, all these connectors too, I got a whole box of them. There's a 480 pieces. That was under $20 on Wish too. They work fine. They're not heat shrink ones, they're just plastic, but works fine. Alright, so those are all done. Pretty simple, easy wiring, nothing to it. So it'll plug into here. Then what I'm going to do is take these little connectors here. I don't know if you can see that very well. But I'm going to plug this into here. Then the wire from the signal light on the truck will go into here. and then the other half of the wire that I cut in half, one of these will go into there and plug that in, and that's how I'll splice that together. It's not the best way to do it, it's not the right pieces to be using, but that's all I have, and you got to work with what you got. So we'll get over to the truck, get these pieces put into there, get our wires all matched up, and see if it works. Okay, now, so I got the spot where I was poking holes in the wire to test them. I'm going to cut the wires there and then get my connectors put in, and I'll show you what I was talking about with all the wire and stuff like that, and get it all hooked up. So these connectors, it doesn't matter what side of the wire you put it on, as long as it's on there. This, I'm going to use the green shrink wrap that goes onto this, so then it matches up to the green wire on the headlight, so I'll just know which one to plug it into. Just makes it a little easier. Try not to light your truck on fire. Be a good idea. I'll get that one all done. We'll get the next one on there. The next one, the brown wire, I'm going to go red to match the headlight. Same idea. Put the same connector on, just makes it easier to put together. Okay, now so for this side I'm going to put these connectors on. No, the lighting's not very good, but this is all I got. Put these connectors on, that way they'll plug into this, and then you can splice the headlights into the top of these. And the same thing, just keep everything color coordinated, makes it a little easier. With these little plugs, if you forget your heat shrink, at least it fits over the whole thing, so you can put it on and not wreck one of these good wish connectors. Because you know, that was like 6 cents. It's a lot of money if you don't have any. Might get a little warm on the fingers. That's okay. Just run them under some water or get your mom to help you or something. Alright, so we got those two done. The blue I put green on. The brown I put red on just to match up with the headlights. Did the same thing on this side, so then it's all color coordinated, just makes it a lot easier. I'll get those wires that I spliced in, we'll get them plugged in. I'll have to go under the hood, feed them in behind the brad support. We'll get them plugged in and see if they work. We'll get the light plugged in. Maybe. Alright, we got that plugged in. Get these fed through. I just got a tangled mess. Jeez. Now I'll put this ring back on. I'll just put it on with one screw, just enough to hold it. There, it's enough to hold the headlight in. Now what I'm going to do is plug these wires back in. You can see that I got those plugged back in for the original light to work. Now I need to go under the hood. Those are about 6 miles too long, but they work. Those you just plug into the tops of those. If you're gonna do this, I'd get different connectors, just make it way easier, but I don't have that. This is all I got to splice together stuff. So we'll go in the truck, turn them on, and see what they look like. Alright, so the halo's on for the daytime running lights if you had a Jeep or any newer style vehicle with these round headlights. Even the square ones are pretty well the same type of connection. We'll flick the signal light on and see if they light up amber like they're supposed to. Okay, cool, they work awesome. Way better than I thought they would, especially for lights off of Wish, but it's pretty simple to hook up. Just a plug and play for your regular lights. High beams, low beams, and your daytime running lights, you would splice the red wire into your daytime running light wire, and then your signal light wire, you would splice the green wire, which is on the back of this, into that. Now that I got that all done, I'm going to get this all put back together and do the other light. guys, so we got that all finished up. My camera died when I was filming the second headlight, the exact same way as the passenger side that I did first. But we have it all done. We had a bit of a problem with the ground wire on the driver's side. That's why the headlight kept going out all the time, and just wiggle the wire, it always worked. This time it finally broke, so I got that figured out. Done good enough for now. I need a new plug, but I just Jimmy rigged it together for now. But that'll be all for this video. If you want to like, subscribe, there'll be some more on this and the Sonoma once I get enough money to do better things, but just little maintenance things right now. Anyways, we'll see you in the next one.